Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've done it. The Doctor Who discussion. Godwin's Law is in action. If you're not familiar with Godwin's Law, it basically means that as an online discussion gets dumber and dumber, eventually it will degenerate into a conversation about Hitler or Nazis or something.
A comparison that,
effect.
if you disagree with me, you're clearly a Nazi and a Hitler supporter.
And it has happened. It has happened thanks to the Independent.
It was a matter of time.
It was a matter of time, but thanks to the Independent, they literally have called people who are calling shenanigans on Doctor Who's ratings Nazis, basically, and that you're perpetuating the big lie. Literally, they say this.
Yeah, and here's the thing: what I've always found with this kind of argument is usually the argument goes into the place where based on facts and different things until there is no more argument on one side, and then their immediate response is somehow comparing you to Nazis and Hitler. Because if I can't win the argument based on factual information, I'm going to have to go win the argument by shaming you, and then making you back down because if you clearly are a bad person, and if you're a bad person. So you need to back down. So if I don't win, I can't win by logic. I'm going to appeal to you not wanting to be labeled a bad person, so that I can win the argument. And that's just pathetic. That's just sad and pathetic.
So here's the thing, just to recap, if you've never watched our videos before, yes, we have done 2 or 3 videos on Doctor Who's ratings. We did cite the Daily Mail UK and The Sun, both of which pointed out the very correct fact that Doctor Who's ratings are dropping. Are they the worst ratings for a season of Doctor Who? No.
We never said they were.
No. And a lot of people, the complaints they have about this season, ourselves included, it's not Jodie Whittaker. We don't have a problem with Jodie Whittaker being the Doctor. I actually think she's quite good. The problem we're having is the stories are boring.
And they're very
heavy-handed.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
Very preachy. Very preachy.
Did you get it?
And very boring. So there's already a misrepresentation that most people are having an issue with a female-led Doctor Who show, when most of our commenters even were like, that's not the problem we're having. We're having a problem with the storylines.
Right.
So that's already making a false assumption about people. But here we go. This is coming from The Independent. Right-wing Doctor Who haters. We're not even...
Oh, that's something else. We're not right-wing. We actually are left-wing. But whatever.
Right-wing Doctor Who haters are lying. Series is far from failing with Jodie Whittaker. Well, we never said it was failing, but the numbers are dropping.
I think people are just bored.
They're bored. Let's look at the fake news first, shall we?
Because they said it's fake news. It is. Okay.
It goes like this. Doctor Who is in trouble. The ratings have plummeted. They're down the toilet. Viewers are deserting it, and the millions turned off. Well, yes,
people are turned off by the preachy storyline.
They are deserting it by the millions, yes, and then we can prove that. Viewers are deserting it, and the millions turned off by the too many preachy PC storylines and liberal snowflake virtue signaling about race, gender, and equality. Well, that's really dramatic. Casting a woman, Jodie Whittaker, in a role that's been played by men since the series began in 1962 has backfired.
Actually, most people haven't said that.
Yeah, it's turned into a ratings disaster for the BBC, an absolute catastrophe.
Wow, they're just really playing it up.
They really are.
Okay.
This is the agenda being pushed and the lies being peddled by right-wing pro-Brexit newspapers.
Okay. Did you get that? That's their agenda.
Now...
Here's the agenda to fight the agenda.
Now, let's look at the actual news, otherwise known as the truth. It goes like this.
God.
Doctor Who is in great shape, better shape, in fact, than at any time since the successful relaunch with Christopher Eccleston.
Eccleston got screwed, but anyway.
He did get screwed. Well, he screwed himself, too. He left. That's actually not true. There were seasons that were much, much better. Now, this is not the worst.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, the truth? You mean the truth isn't the truth? This agenda, version of the truth isn't the truth?
This season is not a total catastrophe, but there is a downward trend, and it's nowhere near what David Tennant and Matt Smith were at their peak when they consistently held like 7-8 million views. Consistently. Yes, the viewing figures have dipped by 3 million since Whittaker's first episode, which drew a consolidated audience of 10.95 million, the biggest Doctor Who launch since the revival. But the history shows that this is what always happens.
But the only reason people tuned in because people were like, oh, it's a female doctor. It's a novel thing. Let's go see it. Let's be honest here. The reason it was such a high opening was because everybody wanted to see how a woman doctor would be. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
As a woman, I'm telling you that's why.
Okay, so here we go. This is where the bias comes in, right? As well-regarded websites, including Digital Spy and Den of Geek.
Those aren't well-regarded.
They're not well-regarded
well-regarded
websites.
to my agenda websites, Digital Spy and Den. I will put it, the Sun and what was the other one you used?
What was it? Daily Mail.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will admit that's not the best things ever, but neither is Digital Spy and Den of
No,
Geek.
this isn't like the New York Times is looking into it, or even the New York Times now is questionable.
People that agree with me, the well-regarded, true websites, the ones that agree with me.
The ones that agree with me are the ones I cite. Yes, that is it. I have pointed out that the decline is no greater than it was under previous male doctors. Actually, I'm going to slightly disagree with that, and considerably less than under some of them. Eccleston lost 4 million viewers during his first and only season. Tennant, frequently named as the best-loved doctor, shed 3 million the same time as Whittaker.
But they aren't showing the numbers to compare it to, are they?
No, Matt Smith, he said goodbye to 3.5 million viewers over the course of 3 years. Season 5 and 6 were actually pretty strong. It wasn't until season 7 when things kind of started to come off the rails for the whole series.
They're cherry-picking the data with the truth? The truth of the data they cherry-picked? Go ahead.
While it's true that ratings dropped by no more than 2.5 million when Capaldi was playing the Doctor, the reality is the overall audience for the program hit its lowest point ever during his divisive tenure.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that. That is not untrue. Capaldi's final season averaged a weekly audience of 5.45 million, which wasn't enough to place it among BBC's top 20 programs. These genuinely worrying viewing figures were what persuaded the BBC that its biggest international money spinner needed a radical rethink and an injection of fresh talent with fresh ideas for the show.
What it needed was Moffat gone and better writers.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
pretty much. Whittaker's average, on the other hand, is 8.55 million.
Wait.
Whoa.
Well, let's look at this. First of all, here's how averages work. The more episodes you have divided by a number of people watching it, it's going to give you a lower number than somebody who has 7 episodes to go by. Someone has like 30 episodes, on average is going to be a lower average than somebody who has 7.
Right.
I'm like,
because they're pointing out
the truth, the real news
from Digital Spy and from Den of Geek. So here's the thing. Okay, they cite Matt Smith's tenure. Matt Smith was on the show for over 3 years. They're like, well,
that's what I'm saying.
Right? I mean, that's not a fair comparison at all. This is look. What you need to do is look at single series drops, a single series drop. Taking into account the fact that viewing habits have changed drastically since 2005, when there were fewer channels, no Netflix, and no BBC iPlayer, and that the terrestrial TV audience across the board has shrunk, the truth is Whittaker is turning out to be one of the most popular doctors.
But wait, taking since 2005, right? But the Netflix and BBC and all that online has been around for several years now. So if you take into account anything since like 2012, anything before 2012, anything since 2012, 2013 on, Netflix, BBC, all those things have been around. So that's kind of bullcrap.
Yeah, this is...
It's like you take, if you argue this, you can argue that up until 2013 or 14 even, or whatever. But on the most recent, last 4 years, you have 5 years worth of comparisons for a doctor to compare it to see if it makes a difference.
So we can have a discussion about the numbers and what they mean. That's not the thing about this article that pissed me off.
Here or there, different way you look at it.
Right, because you can sit there and you can debate the numbers and you can debate that, and that's fine. You can have an intelligent discussion about it, which we try to do here. But the article goes on to slap people down.
This is why there's a video right now.
Comes completely off the rails. Not that you'd believe it if you read certain British newspapers that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is popular. Reading the below-the-line comments on some of these dailies' websites after a Doctor Who episode is nauseating, and it leaves you wanting to rinse your eyeballs out with Optrex.
Well, some of the episodes were.
It's like plunging into a sewer of misogyny and racism.
Here we go. That's why I'm here, because I'm tired of as soon as someone doesn't like it, it's automatically assumed that they're racist and misogynist. I'm so effing tired of this bullshit. Just because people don't agree with you doesn't automatically make, I can't even speak, I'm so mad, automatically make them misogynist or racist. Most of our
commenters have actually said they don't mind Whittaker. They're just like, the series is boring. That's why we're not watching it. Regular complaints tend to include the following. No, this is not true. This comment is few and far between. I guarantee it because we get a lot of these people on our site. Too many women, too many black and brown faces.
No, I haven't heard any of the black and brown faces.
No, I haven't heard that either. Too many namby-pamby plots smuggling in messages about racism, imperialism, and inclusiveness. The lefty pinkos at BBC won't be happy until the Doctor is played by a one-legged black lesbian wearing a Me Too t-shirt.
If that's the regular complaints,
that's
that sounds like you took one comment in verbatim. They tend to include the following. So you have several of these. The lefty pinkos at BBC won't be happy until a doctor is played by a one-legged black lesbian wearing a #MeToo t-shirt. If you have more than one comment of that exactly like that, then I think you have somebody who's in a group that they're all just repasting the same thing, because that's awfully specific for a generalization of a complaint.
No, basically, the writer of the article went out and found the worst, most offensive comment they could find.
But if you're going to do that, if you're going to find examples of something,
be believable. Come on.
And generalize them, you generalize them. You don't put it verbatim and be like, the complaints, they include the following. I guarantee there's one of those complaints.
Tend to include the following. Yeah.
I'm like,
you could be like, they tend to include criticisms of... I thought you were supposed to be a reputable paper.
I thought they were reputable paper. I thought they were the truth.
Yeah.
That they were the truth about grammar.
The truth about grammar. They tend to include comments about a woman in the TARDIS. They tend to include comments about the diverse cast. They tend to include nitpicks about the plots. That would be a more accurate.
That's basically they're literally in quotes. Regular complaints tend to include the following. No, you would say some complaints what we saw were, and then you would put them in quotes and say this stuff. You wouldn't say tend to include the following and then just quote it directly and then say they tend to include, because that doesn't even make sense. Whatever. So, this is the honest, upfront, real news right here.
This is the real news. Okay, so Godwin's law is active from this point on, these last couple paragraphs.
And you can't win with facts. You go and shame them.
Throw in Hitler. In the grand scheme of things, the fate of a mere TV series ranks low on the list of priorities.
Exactly. Then why are you having this article to whine about it? Go ahead.
But don't be fooled. This is the big lie in action. The big lie invented by Hitler. It's practiced with dismaying success by Trump on his obliging base is an ingeniously simple concept. Tell an outrageous lie often enough and soon people will begin to accept it as a fact. Well, don't accept it. Doctor Who is doing just fine without a penis.
Well, somebody's a sexist.
Doctor Who is on BBC Sundays at 6:30. Watch it because we need the ratings to go up so the mean people don't say mean things.
So basically, when they won't stop arguing the numbers, their go-to is to basically compare them to Hitler. Again, as you said, it's a mere TV show. It is a TV show. So your go-to is, when I'm not winning the argument, I'm going to tell you you're all like Nazis and Hitler over a flippin' television show.
Oh my God.
And if you have a penis, your opinion doesn't count, which is why I'm here. Because by that argument, then this person could make no comments ever about a doctor that wasn't a woman because they don't have a penis. And you have to have a penis to be able to comment on that, on any doctor other than a woman.
Oh my God. Okay, so here's Bleeding Cool. Another. I think the Independent would like Bleeding Cool, given their taste in websites, considering they thought that Digital Spy and Den of Geek were solid, reputable news sources. I think they also would believe that Bleeding Cool is
Bleeding
solid.
Cool is about the Sun and the Daily Mail.
This is anyway. Bleeding Cool is the tabloid journalism, the yellow paper of pop culture news sites. So yeah, okay. Again, sorry haters, Doctor Who Series 11 is doing just fine.
We're all fine here. How are you?
We're all fine here. How are you? UK tabloids like the Daily Mail have been gloating for weeks that the new series of Doctor Who has been losing viewers and the ratings are dropping because the Doctor is now female, the companions are people of color.
I'm not hearing people say that.
I'm not hearing that.
They're saying it's boring.
It is boring. It's a boring series. How hard is that to understand?
Why do you have to keep... episodes of it and I had no desire to watch more. And I'm a woman and I like her. But I thought the show was boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
If I'm going to waste the time on something, I want to watch something that entertains me. That's not boring.
It's not boring and preachy. Our son, who loved Doctor Who, watched one episode. He's like, "Oh my God, they turned it into the Magic School Bus." It's like so edutaining at this point. He's like, I'm not interested. That is not true. The premiere episode of the season that introduced Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor drew 10 million viewers in the UK, which is a big deal.
Of course,
the premiere
because it was a female Doctor. Of course it was going to.
The only other show that drew that many viewers in Britain was The Bodyguard. That was the first episode. That was the pilot. Doctor Who is a family show that kids watch with their parents that carries the BBC remit to educate and entertain. This is what Doctor Who does, and they have a little thing about a girl dressing like the Doctor.
Because we have to show you what a bad person you are if you're not agreeing. Go ahead.
Pretty much.
That's exactly what it is. And they have to make sure it's a girl. Well, where's the boys?
Guilt.
Where are the boy videos about the boys that like Doctor Who? But anyway, go ahead.
Since the premiere, UK ratings for Doctor Who have held steady, an average of 7 million total viewers every week.
I thought it was 8.5 million average.
Yeah, right, which is already up from the last season. Well, that doesn't take much. The last two seasons of Doctor Who have had abysmal ratings.
Right.
It doesn't take much.
So we're not the worst. We're better than the last season. So I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, we're second. No, I mean, yeah, is it up over the last Capaldi's era? Yeah, Capaldi's. Doctor Who has been in decline since Matt Smith's last year. But there is a downward trend. I'm sorry, you look at the numbers. This is a downward trend. Now they're saying that there's a mid-series slump, and then at the end it's going to pick up. We'll see. If episodes 8 and 9 pick up, then they pick up, and that's. But I don't think they're going to. People seem to be jumping ship. Even in America, ratings for the new season are already double the numbers for the last season.
Mm-mm.
Here's last season in the U.S. We've got 0.7. These are millions, so 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, and then we're over here. And we've got
the first couple,
and now we're down to the 0.7s and the 0.6s again. There's a downward trend in the U.S. too. You know, it kind of fluctuates.
There's
a little
huge
bit.
jump between the first episode.
Yeah.
Look, the first one changed up 48.43, and then to the second one, which is still 1.19, was down 18.48. You know what I'm saying?
Then we went down 27%. Then we went up a little bit, and then we went down 23%. People probably checked in like, did it get any better? Nope. Then went
that's
down
us.
Again. Yeah, we did. Like, I think I got to episode 5.
I'm not giving them any more money. I'm not buying anymore.
I was buying them on Amazon. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not buying anymore. I'm tired of it. It's boring. It's a boring show, and it kills me to say that because I love Doctor Who, but this season of Doctor Who is very, very boring. So they continue to go on. We're not going to read this entire article, but here at the end again we get now. You know, we're not talking Hitler level of insults here, but it's still like the success and survival of a TV series is not just about ratings anymore. It's about how well a show sells to overseas markets now. That's how business is done for TV show, and Doctor Who is a good business for the BBC.
Yeah,
but the American numbers are down.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know.
How dare you fight it with facts?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
So for all the people who claim that Doctor Who is a failure, that's not true. Real life numbers indicate it's a success. A show does not get canceled because you shout about how much you hate it on social media. And think about for a second.
It gets canceled when you all stop watching it because you don't like it.
And think about for a second. You're a grown man complaining about a children's television show.
Wait, Doctor Who's not a children's television show.
They consider it a children's show. It's pretty dark.
This is like the She-Ra thing. You're an adult, and you're not allowed to. Fuck you. You're not allowed to not like it. It's a children's show. It's like you don't call it She-Ra and expect not to have old fans. Just like you don't call it Doctor Who and expect not to have old fans. Plus, you keep saying grown men. I've seen a lot of women, a ton of women, complaining about how boring it is too.
Oh yeah, our comment section. Like I said, we have a relatively small YouTube channel. We had thousands of comments on the Doctor Who videos, and there were a lot of women in there who were like, "It's boring."
So stop marginalizing me, lady, because you're marginalizing me and a bunch of other women by just like doing the same thing, which is going to the narrative. It's all men, whiny men, and misogynists. Stop doing that. You're marginalizing women. You're marginalizing an already marginalized group every time you do this. You don't get to marginalize me and tell me I can't have an opinion because I'm a grown person complaining about church. No, I'm a grown man. You know, it's not all men. A lot of women. Plus, they keep blaming it on people hating her as a doctor because she's a woman, and that's not what's going on either.
No, there are some people who don't like Whittaker as the doctor, and that's fine. They're allowed to not like Whittaker as the doctor. The vast majority of people I've seen are just like, look, the show is boring. It's a boring show. It's a preachy show. It is boring. That's why we don't watch it anymore.
Oh, children watch it. My children both don't like it now. They
grew up watching Doctor Who. They grew up watching Doctor Who. They don't want to watch it. My son's like, it's like the Magic School Bus. I don't want to watch it.
They don't want to watch it.
No.
But at least if you're writing it in the Daily Mail, you're getting paid for it. But you still come out looking ridiculous. Oh, no, trust me. You look pretty ridiculous for everybody. Children don't read the Daily Mail. Wait. That's their argument? Oh, my God.
They watch Doctor Who and are the better for it.
Children don't read the Daily Mail. Children apparently write whiny articles on Bleeding Cool when they don't get their own way and call men misogynists, that people don't like it, they don't have a penis.
It's a big lie in action.
And that person...
if you say it enough times.
And that person better never have complained about Doctor Who when it was a man.
Yeah, right.
Because how dare they? A grown woman complain about, a Doctor Who. It's a children's show.
God, this is like full-on defense. But this happens in pop culture so many times. You hit people with facts and you're like, look, we have concerns. This happened with The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. This happened with Solo. They tried to spin Solo as being a box office success, even though it clearly was not. And it took Bob Iger actually coming out and saying, hey, we screwed up.
Yeah.
For them to shut up about it. But you hit them with numbers. You hit them with facts. you hit them with, different examples, and they refuse to believe it.
Is it the worst ratings ever?
No, it's not the worst ratings.
And most people aren't saying that it's the worst ratings ever. What people are saying is, are people saying that they just don't like it because it's a she? Some people are, but the majority are not. It's like you're just picking and choosing things to be pissed about, whether or not you have proof of it, and then blaming it on people. You're blaming it all on men. Is it all men who don't like it? No. You're going on about facts and facts and facts, and we have to do the facts, but yet you're not checking the facts either.
And the fact that you have to resort to using Hitler to win this argument, you've lost. Game over. It's done.
And you're blaming all right-leaning people. Guess what? We don't lean right. We vote left. So whatever. I'm just like, your argument.
It's sad.
It's same argument here for She-Ra. Same argument here for Last Jedi. It's all these right-wing misogynist men.
And then when that doesn't work, bots, Russian bots. Russian bots tank the ratings.
And now it's Hitler.
I mean, seriously, you can't make this shit up. This would make a beautiful episode of Doctor Who.
But at the end, it's all over a stupid show.
Over a stupid show that you're not allowed to be upset about. So why are you upset about? Why are you...
Yeah, we're not allowed to be upset about how we don't like where this is going because we think the writing is boring. And that's what our problem with it is. It's boring. We're not allowed to say we don't like it this season because it's boring. But you're allowed to call us names and say we're like Hitler.
I know.
Because we don't like it because it's boring.
Oh my God, this is just...
I'd love to see Whittaker with somebody who writes stories that are boring. I like to see her against the classic Doctor Who
said this repeatedly.
bad guys. I like to see her against the Daleks or against, the
Cybermen or something. Yeah,
or something like that. I'd love to see her on a show that's good, against, the regular Doctor Who bad guys. I would love to see that. I think that would be amazing.
Not just, Doctor Who versus, nebulous racism or whatever they're doing. It's oh my God. There would have been no video if they wouldn't have compared people who don't like the season to Nazis. Why did you have to go? Why did you have to go there? Whatever.
They always go there.
Why did you have to go there? You've lost your argument.
You can guarantee any of these discussions are always going to go to the following. It's all men who hate it. They're all misogynist and racist men who hate it. It's because no one likes strong female characters and they can't take strong female characters. I guess I should be afraid. And they're afraid of strong women.
Yeah.
So every time I look in the mirror, I get scared of myself. And they're also, and then if that doesn't work, then they're obviously because they're alt-right Nazi sympathizers. Because everybody who doesn't like the show are clearly right-wing, alt-right Nazi sympathizers.
God, this is just insane. Like, it takes an insane person to write an article like this. Like, look, you can present your facts, present the numbers, present the facts, have an intelligent debate, but when you have to devolve, your discussion devolves into comparing people to Nazis and comparing, slamming Doctor Who to the big lie, it's hard to take you seriously.
It is
it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even gonna mince words. You're ridiculous. This is a ridiculous article. So anyway, there it is. If you don't like Doctor Who, you're part of the alt-right, and you're a Nazi.
You're obviously a misogynist racist.
Yep.
And you're mad because she doesn't have a penis.
That's right.
Because clearly only people who don't like it have penises. So.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I've had enough ridiculousness, I think, for today.
Yeah.
So subscribe to CLOWNFISH TV for more pop culture news, views, and rants, art videos, gaming videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky.
All right,
we'll catch you later.